Have you ever purchased something and then regretted that you got it? Maybe even perhaps a pet that you were excited about, you were thrilled to have, and then it just became such a problematic pet, or again, some purchase that you bought that you were so excited about and it just became more of a problem. Maybe a car that ended up becoming a lemon. And sometimes we do that. We buy stuff, we're all excited about it. Maybe we even do all the right research to make sure that what we got is good, and it turns out not to be. Or maybe have you ever had yourself trying to let something go, overlook something, and before you know it, it became a runaway train wreck and just became a snowballed, bigger problem than you had anticipated it would become. So those two ideas happen sometimes in the world of politics. And I don't like to talk about politics, but what I'm going to do is just give you a passage of Scripture and tell you what discernment principles it can provide for us. Because right now, the government has the ability to shut down pretty much everything, which there's a positive to that and there's a negative to that. And what I want to throw out to you is a passage and a bit of theology that will pull you one direction, that could pull you both directions actually, and want us to use some wisdom as we're continuing to walk through this series, just learning how to find wisdom in what we're doing. So in Romans chapter 3, verses 10 through 18, it says, "As it is written, none is righteous, no, not one. No one understands, no one seeks for God. All have turned aside, together they have become worthless. No one does good, not even one. Their throat is an open grave. They use their tongues to deceive. The venom of asps is under their lips. Their mouth is full of curses and bitterness. Their feet are swift to shed blood. In their paths are ruin and misery, and the way of peace they have not known. There is no fear of God before their eyes." Again, that's Romans 3, verse 10 through 18. And what that passage is saying is talking about humanity. And it's saying that humanity is not trustworthy, and humanity has poor motives, selfish motives. Humanity often can become cruel and heartless and just do awful things. And we need to think about that when it comes to politics. And there's two ends to this. There is the end that people are this way, and so we need a strong government that is able to enforce rules to protect people from each other. And so those who advocate strong policies and strong government do so because of their concern of people, when they're left to their own choices, they don't make good ones. And sometimes that is harmful to the rest of society. On the other side, we have to remember that when you give people authority, those people are just like everybody else. They have the same heart, the same fallen condition. And so when you give too much power to human beings, then they can become so much more devastating because they have nothing that could restrain them when you give them absolute power. And so we want to keep that in mind. In the days ahead, I'm sure there's going to be all kinds of political debates on how to handle such an event again in the future. And I want to urge you to use wisdom. And our country was founded on a conflict with these two things. In fact, if you study John Adams and Thomas Jefferson, John Adams was in favor of strong government because he was concerned that people left to themselves are cruel and they will make bad choices. So that was his reason for strong government. Thomas Jefferson distrusted power in the hands of people, so he wanted to reduce government as far as he could take it. If you go to either extreme, you get tyranny on one end, you get anarchy in the other. And I want us, as we walk through this season and we think through politics and what we will advocate, be careful advocating too much power in order to protect us from things. What happens if that power does not get forfeited later? But be careful not letting the government do anything to take care of issues, because we won't be able to handle any issue at all. And so I encourage you, study the history of our country and read some of the debate papers, the Federalist Papers, and those sort of things, and get an idea, and just be careful of your thinking because there's issues on both sides, and we need authority, but we also need restricted authority. And I'm not giving you an opinion on either side, other than just let the Bible be in our minds as we think through what we face in the days ahead. And let's think beyond the first step, and let's think what will happen when this is a different issue. God bless you. Oh, and I encourage you, please like this video and share it and comment on it. That helps us get these comments out elsewhere. If you're watching on Facebook, the entire playlist is on our YouTube channel, Bethel Pittsburgh. Thank you.